What's going on, everyone? The day in the life of junk removal. Just want to let you guys know, I've been doing this for some time. I've been doing it for a while. I'm based out of South Carolina, Columbia. Today is my first day of me doing my blog. It's definitely been some trouble for me over the years, just doing this, staying consistent with the blogging. And I could definitely tell you that I am willing to make this thing work. It's 2025. It's about time I start getting on the internet and showing you guys some gems and everything that I usually go through on a daily basis with this junk removal thing. I am a pro. I am a veteran in this game, I could say, for real. No cap. You know what I'm saying? But this morning I'm getting up and tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Emmanuel. I originally came from, I was born in New York, left New York, moved to Connecticut, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Shout out to Bridgeport, Connecticut. Left there, went to Fort Lauderdale, went to high school out there, and made my way to Columbia, South Carolina. How did I get here? Because of my aunt. Anywhere my aunts go, I usually follow. But it was something about Columbia, South Carolina that made me just stay here. The market was open, it was wide, it was untouched, and I just felt like it was a great place where I can grow. So how did I get into junk removal? Well, how did I get into junk removal? The funny thing is I started off with doing lawn service, like cutting grass, right? And one day, I was at home talking to one of my good friends, and he was like, yo, won't you do junk removal? And remind you, this was right before, sorry, somebody's calling me. This was right before the recession, or COVID. Man, I'm like, yo, I get to go in, I started doing it, and then I'm realizing, I'm like, yo, like, I'm finna be a millionaire off of this thing. Next thing you know, here comes COVID. Boom. Everybody got a trailer. Everybody got a truck. I'm like, man, but I ain't hating on you. You know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do to eat and survive. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not mad. I like to see people win. Because I would wish the same thing. I would want them to wish the same thing on me. So, I'm gonna tell you this. I started it. It was really good. As time went on, I got to meet a lot of people. Man, I got a lot of stories, a lot of ups and downs. I mean, like my car tire, my bearings like falling off on the side of the road. Tire fell off, flew to the right, car flew to the left. Man, I tell you, man, I got stories for days. I remember, like, when I first started, this is so funny. I started in a Chevy Impala 2014 LTZ. Where did I get the trailer from? Out in Lancaster, South Carolina or North Carolina, I'm not too sure. But out in Lancaster, Kershaw County. And how did I find the trailer? I ended up finding the trailer out there at a pawn store. So I used to work for Sunbelt Rentals. Shout out Sunbelt Rentals, scaffold division down in North Carolina, Grasmere. It might be Grasmere, I might be wrong. Graham Street. Just type in, if you ever want to do scaffolding, all my scaffold builders, go to North Carolina, type in North Carolina scaffolding, Sunbelt Rentals. They only have one division out in Charlotte. So yeah, I was down at the gold mine, which is in Kershaw. I'm letting y'all know it's gold down in Kershaw. There's resources for gold, I guess, because they out there. But anyway, I'm out there, and I used to go on my lunch break, and me and the guys, we used to always pass this pawn store, and this pawn store literally had everything that you can imagine for like cheap, and it was really good price-wise. And this lady's looking at me like, oh my gosh, she's video recording. But anyway, yes, it's the new day and age. But anyway, I end up going in there, and just on this particular day, I ended up realizing that there was a trailer out there, and I ended up paying for my trailer, which was $400. And man, I was so proud. What? I felt like I accomplished something, which I did, right? You would feel the same way. You would say that, right? I felt like I accomplished something. It was like, man. And I did that, and I drove that thing all the way from South Carolina all the way down to Lincolnton, North Carolina, with no lights on that bad boy and no license plate. And I drove that thing till the wheels fell off. I put the wheels back on there, and I kept on rolling, baby. But anyway, when I started my junk removal, man, I got me. You don't have to weld any side railings or any side walls, man. I went down to Home Depot and I got me a piece of plywood, threw them things up in the back, the side, and the front, and turned that thing into a box trailer, a dump trailer. I kept going, and I pushed through. I said, I'm not going to watch anybody and what anybody else is doing. I just did me. You know, that was the only way that I can be able to just focus, right? Not focus on somebody else and see what they got going on, because everybody's journey is different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's journey is different. So I did that for some time, and I ended up coming back to Columbia, South Carolina, because I felt like North Carolina was just saturated, and this is where I started. So I did that. I started running ads on Facebook market groups before it became oversaturated, and that was the play. When I had that thing locked, I had that thing locked. So I was using Facebook Market, and I was using Craigslist. Like, I was posting like 10 times a day, maybe even 20, to the point where they just became annoyed of me. But I did not care, because persistence was at its best, when I tell you. So after a while, that kind of like died out, because everybody started doing it. But that's how I started to build my clientele. So it was working. I kept getting a lot of customers, and I was doing, man, I started off doing like $60 runs. You know, I started off doing $60 runs. And the funny thing is, I'll tell you another story within this story. A guy called me one day. He was so upset because I was doing $60 runs. And at the time, I didn't care. I was like, listen, I got to eat. I got to survive. I got to survive. Oh, I know I got love. I know I got to survive. I got so much love to give. I got so much love to give. I got to, ooh, hey, I got to survive. But anyway, I don't know the words. But anyway, you get it. So people used to prank call me and say, actually prank call me. We wouldn't continue the call, but they would prank call me, and people would leave comments. But anyway, this guy called me. He leaves me a voicemail, and he's like, "Man, take down that ad. You are killing the market." And at the time, I didn't care, but he was right. You know, this was a survival thing for me. This wasn't just a thing where I got up and I was like, yo, I'm just going to start a business. This was not a thriving thing for me. This was a survival thing. I had to survive. I ended up ruining my hand. This hand, my middle finger doesn't operate properly because I smashed it. That's another story within itself. But I ended up smashing it, and I ended up leaving Sunbelt during a Christmas holiday break. You know, what a coincidence. I smashed my hand as I left my Sunbelt Rentals job during the Christmas season, and I ended up, you know, being out for like 2 weeks. And that's when I decided to just be an entrepreneur, right? Because I was just sick of like doing this 9 to 5, you know, working for someone else and being overly worked. You know, I work very well, you know, and I was just sick of it. I wasn't fulfilled, and I couldn't do it anymore. And yeah, I just went into, you know, lawn service, and then it was junk removal. And I seen a lot of people come and go. A lot of people come and go. And I was able to be one of those guys who stood the test of times. I was one of those guys who was able to stand the test of times and stick this thing through. And I'm still sticking it through. And I'll tell you guys, it's not easy. It's hard. You know, it is hard. Some days I get up, I don't even know where the next dollar's coming from. It's hard. You know, sometimes people don't want to see you prosper. It's hard. You know, sometimes you don't have gas money. You got to be able to get through. It's hard. When you don't have a 9 to 5, it's hard. But what kept me going through was I didn't have a job. So that's why I'm still doing what I'm doing, you know, and I'm still doing it now. And I tell you guys, it's still hard. But eventually it got easier because I got to meet people, and people told me different ways that I can go about getting, you know, contracts and those kind of things. So I end up getting contracts, and that lightened up my load, lightened up my frustration a little bit, which was amazing, which was really, 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 really amazing. And that was able to keep me, withstand me, and keep me, you know, above water. And that felt really good, that I was able to learn in this business and meet great people who really showed me a way out, right? Not a way out, but just a way to stay above water. And I'm grateful for everyone that came along and showed me. But this journey is an amazing journey, and it's a big business, and you don't have to only just focus on only doing junk removal. Junk removal is still considered a waste management. Now, it's $1 trillion business all over the world. You can take it as far as you want. You can go into recycling. You can do e-recycling, like batteries and cell phones. You can do furniture. You can do, you know, disposal of bodily waste. It's so many different ways you can get into this business and expand. That is my goal, and that's what I'm after. But I can't do it alone. And by the way, I've had guys come and go. You know, I've hired temps and stuff like that. But I still do this alone, you know? And sometimes it could be frustrating because it could put a toll on you. And I guess I just have trust issues, and I'm learning how to get through that. And it takes time. I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been just on my entrepreneur journey for 5 years. It's been a while. I want to say 4 to 5 years, right? And it's hard. It's not easy, you know. I just got a new truck. I do have old pictures of my old truck, and I'll post a few old pictures and a few old videos of my journey. So, you know, guys, don't forget. Matter of fact, let me stop here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, guys. For those, you know, let's get this. I'm giving you raw, cut, you know, not edited material. I'm outside. I'm in the streets. You know, I'm outside hustling. I'm showing you what it is like from the bottom. Not going to the bank, getting a loan, or asking mom and dad for help. No, starting from the bottom, you know, showing you my personal life and my business life of, I'm not perfect, but showing you, what it is to be, a father, what it is to be a son, what it is to be a boyfriend, going through breakups, relationships, going through the ups and downs, financial, crisis, and, almost on the verge of freaking out and losing it because you don't know where your next bill is going to come from and you're so used to getting a certain amount of money. It gets scary, but this is where God comes in. If you are, if you do have the faith, right, and you do have hope, this is where he comes in. You just have to trust the process. But let me tell you, you do have to meet it halfway. You do got to get out here and meet them halfway. You have to believe and have the faith that you can bet on yourself. And you have to get out here. And when I say get out here, people don't tell you this. I mean, sometimes you have to go astray and do other things to make up for you, to supplement the income that you used to make. Sometimes you have to get out here and get scrapped. Sometimes you have to get out here and find things on the side of the road and clean them up and fix them and reflip them. That's another story that I have to get into, and sometimes it is, let me tell you, it is important to have family. It is important to have a support system. And let me tell you, what goes around comes around, the way you treat people is very, very important. You can't look at people like money. You can't. That's what I did when I first got into this business. What I wanted to do was get into the business, right? Make money and go straight into real estate. But that's not, and I thought it would be easy. That was my goal. I said I'm going to do 1 year. I said I was going to do 1 year. And look, I'm 4 years in, going on 4 years to 5 years in, I love it. I truly love it. And if there's one thing I can say, I'm playing the longevity game. I'm not playing the short game. We're not going to play the short game. We're not going to do the short game. The short game does not last long. Right? And I'll say this. Hold on. I'll say this. Make sure you pay your taxes. Learn how to pay your taxes. Learn how to pay your taxes. Take a business course. Take a business course. It's very, very important if you want to be able to survive out here, right? This was more of a surviving thing, but once you start to thrive, you have to realize that you are making money out here and you are doing invoices and stuff like that, and people are reporting to the IRS. So make sure you do your taxes and stuff like that. That's very important, just to keep, to keep those folks off of you. Do your taxes, right? And leverage the bank as you start to process. I'm going through this right now, and with y'all support can really help me because I really don't have support. I don't have family. I have a son I don't get to see. I have a girlfriend, she's busy doing what she's doing. I'm just keeping it funky. She's doing what she's doing, and she's doing what she's doing, man. At the end of the day, you gotta hold your own. You gotta hold yourself accountable, and you gotta hold yourself accountable. You gotta step up to the plate, know what you came for, and go for it. So yeah, stay tuned, and I'm gonna have more things going on pertaining to this whole junk removal journey. I have videos, I have paperwork to show you guys. I have my personal life that I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you the nitty and the gritty, So stay tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And ask questions. I'll answer any questions that you guys have. Any questions. Ask them. I want you guys to ask these questions. Where to go, what to do. I don't use apps. I use all traditional marketing. I used to use electronical or online marketing, but I use traditional marketing, and currently I am stuck. I am stuck. I got in a position where I'm stuck and I got comfortable. And right now, as I'm speaking to you, I need, I need to create a team, create a family, create a following, because without you guys, I won't be able to continue. I need you guys. I really do. This is why I'm here. I need your support. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and continue watching, because it's going to be great. And follow me along my journey. I love you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I hope to see you guys one day, face to face. And I hope that we all can work together and create a big network, so that we can help young other people like myself grow to feed their families. I'll see you guys later. I'm out. Peace.